Is the ability to adapt a must? Yes, it is. Hello, and today's my insight. All right, I'll be talking about this. So, I was at a public gathering, and I literally made a fool of myself. I did. I made a blunder and I fell, which happens from time to time because my balance is not fully okay. I my my balance is kind of off kilter, and if I don't have a fair footing on where I'm placing my foot, I might run the risk of falling and tripping, and that is exactly what happened. And some I don't know I don't know if it created a buzz or if it had a lot of people looking at me or whatnot, but I was very self conscious. Okay, and throughout the entire evening, well, this happened in the morning or at noon, and through the entire evening, I was like, I feel so stupid. It's such a bad thing. Why couldn't I have done something better? Should I have waited for them to move and yada yada yada. Of course, it would have helped if I would have politely asked them to move, but I felt like under the gun. I felt like I was gonna miss my transportation and that I need to rush. Now, I could have handled it better. Okay, and I most probably not a lot of people saw it, or if they did see it, they just didn't pay much mind to it because, as my coach, one of my coaches, Christopher Dedean, shared in one of his posts today, is that people actually don't worry too much about what you're doing. They actually do not care. They're too busy thinking about their problems and stuff. So, no worries. It happens. And you can just go right on experiencing life because they probably have forgotten it in the next half hour. Now, the interesting the interesting thing is that my mind went in all these different directions, thinking the worst case scenario and so on and so forth. And I got a text message from my sister later this evening, telling me that she wanted to talk. I was like, oh, what's she gonna tell me now? And because I'm kind of, not to say that I was in bad intent, because I'm just kind of used to it when I do something wrong. Like she'll mention it, not in the sense of you did wrong, no, like telling me off, but in the sense of constructive criticism. Let's put it that way. And it does seem like a lot, but it's okay. I understand that she wants to help and assist, and I'm very grateful for all that. Okay, which might be the case. I mean, she might tell me that you could have handled the situation better, which is fine, and I understand. But whatever happened that evening went actually pretty well. I didn't feel like I had a tap on my hand or whatnot. Actually, a lot of things went very well, and so I'm like, okay, this is good. But what this taught me is that throughout the years, I've had to be the person that takes constructive criticism and turns it into their the next thing that they work on. And so, what this made me think of is the inability to adapt, because I have some people in my life who are so headstrong that they're ready to give you constructive criticism the minute they see it, but they will not receive constructive criticism themselves because in their I have a feeling that in their mind they see it as them like speaking down on you, when in actuality, like maybe okay, so as I said, maybe it's them thinking that you are speaking down on them, because that's might be the intent that they have when they share constructive criticism. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people forget. It's that when you are not necessarily like in a work setting, but someone gives you constructive criticism, and you got some trauma from like childhood or like from your teenage years of someone giving you constructive criticism, but with some baggage, like maybe you didn't really understand what your mom meant when she said things in a specific way, or she hadn't. I'm using the word mom because that's just what came to mind, but it could be anyone who like scolded you for anything or whatnot. You as a kid you take these like as as like you did something wrong, tack, right, hit you on the head. But in actuality, if you reframe it, okay, and see it as a constructive criticism that is meant to help you, you'll actually be able to assist yourself in many ways. So, my question to you is, what is actually happening in your life that you are seeing as an affront to you when actuality is only meant to help you go farther? Ponder that.